Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am here with a flip through of my May planners. So this video is going up a little bit later than I normally post it. Normally I try to get this done in the first week of the next month for the previous month, but I have been taking June off as just kind of a family time and just prioritizing time with my family, and so I've been kind of slow in posting videos. This is in fact I think only my second video for June, but I've been enjoying the family time, and so I am posting this video a little bit later, but we're going to jump right into it. I do have two planners here, as you can see. This one's set up as a Frankenplanner, and then this is my daily planner, and so I'm going to flip through this first, and then we'll flip through the daily planner kind of in the middle, and you'll see why that is as I get through this. But this Frankenplanner has been my setup for all of 2023. It is on classic, not they're on expander discs, but it's set up as a classic size. I do use a set of covers that is the same set of covers, and I just relabeled it here. And so it's set up as a Frankenplanner, but also as a transform planner. So the covers can be transformed, so that way different sections can be like the thing that's on the very top. I talk about like transformer planning in a separate video, so I'll try to remember to link that video on how I set up a transformer planner, so that way you can watch it if you're interested. But today we're just going to flip through all of this, show you all of my spreads. I do try to show every single spread that I have, and you know, some of it I do have to blur out just for privacy reasons, but I do try to talk to you about everything that I do. And so for the month of May, I was pretty much using this planner as well as my daily planner, and we're going to look at all these pages. So the first one I will flip through is, as you can see here, my work planner. So for work, I am using a current planner. It is one that I cut down from a quill bound planner, and so just to jump right into it, I have like all the front pages here. These pages are like just notes. I actually need to take these out. These were all notes from like different job applications that I was applying for. I was marking like when I was applying for jobs, and you know, all the positions that I applied for. And then here, I do need to update this section. I started in May, but I haven't updated it. But this is where I'm tracking like how many emails I send each day. It's just fun for me to track how many emails I send. I don't actually send a lot of emails. As you can see here, I receive a lot of emails, but I don't really respond to a lot of them. A lot of it's just administrative, like FYI type emails. So I track all of that here, and I do have it for the rest of the year to track that, right? And then this page is the currently page. This is like actually the July page, but this is page, since it was attached to the perpetual calendar, I wanted to convert it so that way it didn't just have July the entire time. I converted it to be something that's tracking all of 2023. I need to go in here and put my summer schedule, but I'm putting my spring schedule, my summer schedule, and then my fall schedule for work. And then right here, I'm taking like just big notes of like, or like notes on big events or big things that I've done at work. And so that's right there, right? So then here we're finally getting into May. So for the monthly, you can see here, it's pretty plain. I do just track my hours for work. And then I actually ended work right here at the very beginning. And so I started taking like kind of like small-ish notes on like what I did after this week right here, because this is really the only week that I decorated in my work planner. And so you can kind of see here it's converted from quill bound. But yeah, like this was the last day I worked, was the Saturday the 6th with graduation, and so the rest of these pages are empty. I will eventually pull these pages out and just kind of like glue them together. And then normally right here I do fill this out, but I just didn't do it for May. And so what I do with the currently that's attached to the end of each month is basically use it as a end of the month going into the next month. So this is marked for June, but it's like the end of May going into June, like a reflection of the month. But since I only worked 1 week, I just didn't even bother. And then I do have a section here. This is my divider with my sticky notes and all that. But this section is like some notes that I do actually need to carry into like the rest of the year. But it's notes for a committee that I'm sitting on, which will be like wrapping up some of its like the major stuff for it going into next academic year, so starting in the fall of 2023. So I still need to keep these notes in here, but those are all the notes in there, and I won't flip through that just because they're more private work notes. But that is that section. And so the second section, I just transformed it, as you can see there. But the second section is my personal section. So in my personal section, I do have 4 sections / 3 sections. I do have a weekly planner, a daily planner, my food log, and then I had a budget section in here. And so again, I'll flip through all of that. So this is all in my personal. So for my personal section, the very first section is the or like subsection is my weekly planner. And so this is actually the end of April. So this is the first week of May. and this is what it looks like. When I pull the planner pages out, by the way, I do put it back into the planner where I've been housing it. And so when I set up my planners each month, I pull from the setup where these pages live, and then I put the pages right back in after I do the flip through. But these pages, you can see, is pen to paper, and I do use this kind of as a pre-planner, and so I write events like way in advance. And so these are all the pages for May. I do use this section right here as like kind of a habit tracker for like social media type stuff. I use this section for like social media, bills, and then to-dos, and then of course like this is where I put chores, and then of course all the events and tasks, major tasks for the day. I need to blur this out. Actually, I don't need to. There's nothing like personal there. But like this is the end of May. Let me move this out so you can see, but this is what it looks like. And then June, moving into June, I did decide to go into basically just daily planning. And so I took all of these notes on here and converted them to my daily planner. And so you'll see that in the June after the pen flip through. Oops, sorry for moving that. All right, so I'm gonna stick my notes back in there. All right, and so I do, again, like I do pre-plan in this, so I do have it out pretty far in advance, but that is my weekly. So then the second subsection is marked right here with this divider, and this is my daily section. And so in this section, I did kind of just put a placeholder like this tab divider to mark where I put my daily pages, but I've actually been doing really well with using my big size pages for daily planning. So I'm going to shift this and pull this over here. Actually, don't have enough room. Let me move this a little bit more. All right, and so I'm going to be flipping through my daily planner, and so this daily planner is a big size, so it's set up very similarly with just like expander discs and a big cover instead of a classic size cover. And I've been using tulle letter size daily pages that are outdated for my daily planning, and it has been working out well with just kind of like trying to use up my stash. By the way, I didn't mention my weekly pages are all outdated dashboard pages that I kind of like redated in a previous video and just kind of put that together for the entire year of 2023, and pen to paper for the weekly. And for the month of May, I was doing really good with like just kind of like having fun with May. So let's get in here and show you my daily planning. Again, this is the second quote unquote subsection of my personal planning, but it is housed separately just because it is like the big letter size. So I just had this random page, so I decided to stick that in there. And so for the first week of May, I actually didn't do any daily pages, and so that was like the last week of work for me, so it was really busy with grading, but I did take some random notes on like this horizontal, and then I had a couple of random notes on sticky notes like you can see here, just like this, right? And so the very first daily planning day was May the 7th, you can see here. All right, and so I did try to go in and decorate these pages, and so I think I posted most of these videos, but these are all the pages that I decorated for my dailies. And I'm flipping through it fairly quickly just because it's pretty much the same setup that I've had all of the year, where I'm writing events down here, to-do lists, priorities in this section right here. Yeah, so I just use it just kind of to track big events, but also just to kind of have an in-the-moment record of what I do every single day. And some days I have like giant gaps. That's probably just because I'm playing video games. Here I was at a retreat all day. So, and some days, like, you know, yeah, there are just big gaps, but I'm okay with the white space. It's totally fine for me. I actually did a really good job of writing out in May as well, right? So it's towards the end of the month, and you can see I started fading away with doing it. And so like right here, it goes from the 25th all the way to the 30th. I skipped like several days of daily planning. It was meant to be the 26th, but I just kept moving the date. And so sometimes that happens, right? And so this is actually June the 1st. And so this is the last of May 31st. And jumping right into like the very next page, on the other side of that, I do June as well. And so again, just like writing all the notes in here, I do love using it. I do sometimes leave blank spots, but that's totally okay. I'm fine with a white space. I am just trying to use up my stash, and sometimes that requires not writing as much, you know, sometimes I'm just not that busy. And if you hear noise in the background, that's my daughter. She is with me, of course, all summer. And so again, I mentioned earlier in the video, prioritizing family time. My kids are at home with me. I'm watching my sister's kids sometimes just to like give them a break, you know, so it's a busy summer. All right, so going back into my personal side, personal section then, I've covered weekly, which was the outdated dashboard. I've covered daily, which was the letter size planner. And so the third subsection in my personal section is my food log. And so it still says April, but this is actually for May, right? I guess I never changed the divider, but this is May. I do know that I didn't actually ever go in and like put in the dates here. So I'm totally missing all the dates for the entire month, but this is the first full week of May. This is the 6th, and that's the 7th of May. I know that for sure. Actually, you know what I'm realizing? Because I didn't date it, these are April pages, right? And so those are April pages. This is where May starts. Okay, so actually, right here is let's see. Yeah, so this is where May starts. So May 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and right here is graduation, so I know that's the 6th, right? So sorry about that. I need to take those pages out. I can't believe I have April pages in here still. It's like middle of June. Okay, so anyway, what I do here with my food log is just track food down the row like here. I again did really well with like decorating all of the pages for my food log, and so I put the stickers down and then I just kind of wrote down. Some of the times like I ran out of space, but that's totally okay. You can see here I have lots of white space too. I'm totally fine with that. I don't have to eat more just to fill in the space, but I use this solely for tracking my food. So like, you know, I just write my food down. I don't worry about it being like breakfast, lunch, breakfast in this spot, lunch in this spot, or anything like that. I just write it chronologically in the day. And so sometimes it gets filled where everything's kind of in the bottom just because of the way I laid stickers down, and you know, that's okay. So this is what it looks like. And again, for May, just like with April, I did not stamp any of the dates here. And yeah, sometimes that happens. And so this is the 29th, 30th, and 31st of May. And then of course this starts June, and because in June I decided to move into daily planning, I just didn't bother keeping up with it for the rest of the month. And so that's that. And I do have my setup. I talked about this in the planner lineup video. I have a setup here with a Dollar Tree planner, but I haven't yet like used it just because we are in the daily planner for June. And then the last section, which I talked about, I think I talked about it in my planner lineup video. I'm just going to move this section out. I don't actually have anything for May, but this is like kind of like my fourth section that I do need to take out. Is basically my budget section, subsection for my personal planner, and I just don't use it. I have not been great in 2023 about using it, so I'm just gonna take it out. Right, so then the third section here, like I've gone through work, I've gone through personal. This third section is my faith, and faith also has two subsections. The first one is my prayer journal, which I won't flip through like my actual written notes. This is one of the things where, you know, I would pretty much end up blurring everything out, but I'll show you an example page of what it looks like. And then the second subsection is my Bible journaling study notes type section, and I'll show you some of those pages. Right, but this is the first subsection. It is an outdated kids layout. Now this layout was something that the Happy Planner released once and never did release again, but I have had these pages for forever. They're like from 2018, and so I'm finally using them. I basically just whited out the dates and redated it with some stickers that I had, and I ran out of stickers. You can see I skipped some numbers. That's totally okay. I'll know that's the 26. So it's 25, 26, 27. It's totally okay. But I just basically just write my prayers in here, like any prayer requests that I receive or anything that comes up for myself, for my family, friends. I just write them here. And so I do also like read through the news and like pray for like world events as well. And so I just write them all here. And again, I won't flip through like my actual written notes just because that's just more private. You know, it's, you know, my prayers to God, and I don't want to like have that out in the world. But this is what I use it for. I just basically have what's essentially a horizontal planner, and I just write my prayers out. And so that's the first section. Once I finish out all of these like older like kids layout pages, I do have like horizontal pages in here to kind of just do the same thing. So that is for sure something that's ready to go. And again, like I still have April pages in here. I have not been good about cleaning that up. So let me get to May. May is somewhere back here. Okay, so for May, I was not great about doing Bible journaling, but so this is April. So I think this is the start of May. This was, I think, May the 1st. No, I think this is actually April 30th. Yes, April the 30th. So this is the beginning of May right here. I missed several days, you can see here, so I didn't start until the 4th of May. And then I know like I pretty much kept it really, really simple just because I did not do as much Bible journaling as I wanted to. So I have here some notes from our Bible, our sermon series at church, and so that's from the 7th of May. I didn't even date it, but that's from the 7th of May. And then I have notes here. You can see here it runs from the 9th and 10th, and then I missed 3 days, and then I missed another 2 days, and then I got to the 19th. Yeah, so I didn't do a great job, and all of my notes kind of fit. You can see here like basically 11 days worth of days kind of squeezed together. And then here is the 21st, which is another like Sunday sermon, and I took a little bit of note taking with that. And then here is the 25th of May, and then that's it for my Bible notes. I have been kind of falling off the wagon with my Bible podcasts and sermons and studies with the 4 Bible plans that I'm doing. So I'm going to try to get back into that. I have been like in June kind of picking that back up, but I do want to try to catch up and just kind of like go in and listen to it. So I might not be taking as many notes about it, but I am trying to catch up and listen to them at least. Okay, and the baby has woken up, so hopefully she is not distracting. All right, and I'm having to do this one-handed. Okay, and then the last section here is my home section. So this is the place that houses all of my home binder reference material that I pull out and use for the specific month. And then once I put it in here and like update it and don't need it anymore, then I move it back into the home binder. So I do have a whole like home binder series of like planners. They're quote unquote planners. They're like basically just bound like reference notes. And so I have that set up separately, but any notes that I pull from my home binders that I use in a month, I do put into this section right here. So they tend to be kind of like a mix of different notes. And I'm pretty sure just because in other sections I did have April notes, that I probably have April notes in here. I have May notes in here. So I just need to clean up. And so yeah, that's just kind of that. Let me see. I need to blur out some of this. This is like, some of this tends to be private information. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I did this in April. So let's look and see what we've got for May. There was, I don't think very much. Okay. So this is the beginning of May, and then I have to blur out this section just because it's private information. But then I have here, starting in May, my Declutter 365 challenge. And so I'll turn it this way so you can kind of see it. But this is from May 2021. And then I do have the May 2022 one. If I can flip, right, the 22 one. And then of course the May 2023 one. And I keep all of them in here as reference just to kind of like cross-reference them and see what things have changed. Taylor, who runs the Declutter 365 challenge, she updates it every once in a while. She'll like rearrange the dates and things like that, and so I just want to be able to keep track of that over the years. And so those are all in here. I did not do any of this in May. I think like towards the end of the month I just went through like the entire month of May, but yeah, I didn't otherwise look at that. And then I have a couple of like no spin trackers, which should be in my budget section actually. And then let's see what else is in here. I have a note right here. I don't even know what that means. This is back of chores divider. I don't know what that means. And then here, I did do a couple of things with tracking and putting together a birthday tracker. I did record a video on this one. And so these birthdays are in here, and I can finally move this into my home binder. All right, I made 2 copies of that. I don't know why, but I think just to keep one for the girls. And then I'm trying to flip back a page here. And so this is my monthly bill tracker. This should, again, be in my budget section. All right, and then I found a random like Thanksgiving divider that I wanted to move into my Thanksgiving planner. So I'll put that in there because that's part of my home system. And then this is a random pocket divider that I wanted to have in one of my home binders. Just that's like the physical reminder to myself that I wanted that. And then this was Cars. We actually, in the month of May, we watched through several of the Cars movies, and I ended up, funnily enough, finding like several super old, you can see from 2006, several old like movie tickets from when we actually went to the movie theaters. But I put those in here just because it was related. So yeah, that's that. All right, and that's the last little thing. The only other note here is my games notebook, which I won't flip through in here just because this is going to be a very long video with a baby attached to my hip. So yeah, that's it. So if you want a flip through of my games binder, just let me know. I'll show you what I've got in there. It's mostly notes right now from Legend of Zelda, if you want to see that. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through. Again, what I flipped through was my daily planner here, my work section, the 1 week of that, and the the monthly and earlier notes from that. So my work section, my personal section with its 3 sections, my faith section, and my home reference binder. So yeah, and Rosie just wants to say hi. So hi Rosie. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video. Bye guys.